Michael Dunn und seine Verlobte Rhonda Rouer bereiten sich am 23. November 2012 auf ein großes Ereignis vor. Dunns Sohn heiratet an diesem Tag in Jacksonville, Florida. Die beiden sind am Vortag, einem Donnerstag, angereist und haben auch ihren kleinen Hund Charlie mitgebracht. Für die Hochzeit, die um 16 Uhr stattfindet, lassen sie ihn aber im Hotel. Die Hochzeit findet statt in Orange Park, etwa 25 Autominuten von ihrem Hotel entfernt. Sie feiern mit der Familie und ein paar Freunden, gehen aber schon, bevor die Hochzeitstorte angeschnitten wird. Charlie wartet im Hotelzimmer und weil er noch recht jung ist, wollen Mike und Rhonda ihn nicht zu lange allein lassen. Auf dem Weg zum Hotel halten sie bei einer Tankstelle, denn Rhonda möchte noch etwas Wein und Chips kaufen. Als sie auf den Parkplatz fahren, steht dort bereits ein roter SUV, aus dem laute Musik dröhnt. Es gibt noch viele andere freie Plätze, aber Michael parkt sein Auto neben den roten SUV. Rhonda steigt aus und geht in den Shop. Und als Rhonda gerade im Shop an der Theke steht, Rhonda rennt aus dem Shop zum Auto zurück. Darin sitzt Michael, der sie drängt, einzusteigen.
You get in the car, he pulls out to leave. What's the conversation like in the car?
Well, I asked him, what happened?
Right.
That's what I said. I said, what happened? And he said, I shot at the car. And I'm like, we're moving at this time.
Right.
And I said, what car? And he said, the one with the music. And I said, why? And he said, because they threatened to kill me. And I'm like, I don't understand, Michael. And he just said that he asked them nicely to turn down their music. One of them in the car turned it down. Then somebody in the car said, we don't have to turn our music down for that asshole, or, you know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't remember the cuss words that were
No, I
used.
know that. You can do the best of your knowledge.
Okay. But and then Michael said, are you talking to me? And he said, and then they threatened and then they threatened to kill me. They said they were cussing at him. They were exchanging cusses, and
then Michael said he was cussing back at him. When you said exchanging cussing, so they're
Yeah.
cussing back and forth,
Exactly.
is what he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of F words were being thrown
Thrown
around.
back and forth.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Michael said, and then they threatened to kill me, and I don't remember the exact words that he used, but it was like that they started, and I'm saying they,
Right.
and I don't know if it was they or him.
But that's just how. Okay.
Exactly.
That's how he expressed it to you.
Yes, he
Okay.
said they started to advance, and I reacted.
Okay. They started to advance, and I reacted.
Mm-hmm. And then I asked him, I said, did you hurt anyone? And he said, no, I just shot at the car. And you know, in my head, should I be telling you what I was thinking?
Yeah, I think
okay.
you've already told us.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Just tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, you stupid ass. You know,
Right.
what were you thinking? Why, you know, would you do this?
Zurück im Hotel bringt Michael Charlie nach unten zum Gassi gehen. Rhonda rechnet jeden Moment mit der Polizei, die kommt aber nicht. Sie bestellen eine Pizza, weil Rhonda auf der Hochzeit fast nichts gegessen hat. Dann legen sie sich schlafen. Rhonda wacht sehr früh auf, der Fernseher läuft und sie sieht die Nachrichten. Der 17-jährige Jordan Davis war bei einer Schießerei in einer Tankstelle in Jacksonville erschossen worden. Beiden ist gleich klar, was das bedeutet. Um 8 Uhr checken sie aus dem Hotel aus und fahren zurück nach Hause, nach Satellite Beach.
Were you guys really talking about it at all?
No, we were listening to the radio, and then he would, you know, turn it down and just say, you know, I love you, and I know, you know,
Okay.
but I'm dumbfounded.
Right. It's okay. Take your time. Take a minute.
And it was just it was a horrible trip home.
Kaum zu Hause angekommen, erhalten sie einen Anruf vom örtlichen Polizeirevier. Michael wird gebeten, ins Revier zu kommen und ein paar Fragen zu beantworten. In Jacksonville hat die Polizei mit den Ermittlungen begonnen. Es gab mehrere unbeteiligte Zeugen. Ein Augenzeuge hat sich das Kennzeichen von Dunns Auto gemerkt. So konnte Michael Dunn als der Fahrer des Autos identifiziert werden. Im Polizeirevier wird Dunn noch am selben Tag befragt und er schildert seine Sicht der Ereignisse.
Just kind of walk me through kind of what happened at that point.
Well, I'm embarrassed to say this, but got out. She's in the store, and there's like a SUV next to us, and then the music starts, and I roll down my window, and I thought I was polite. I asked them nicely. I didn't demand. I didn't, or else I said, "Hey, would you guys mind turning that down?" And they shut it off. I was like, "Thank you." Cordial. Everything's cordial. I put my window back up. I'm doing my stuff, and I don't know how many kids are in that, but the windows are down for the back seat. The windows are up for the front seat.
Okay.
And the guy that was in the back is getting really agitated. And my window's up. I can't hear everything he's saying, but you know, there's a lot of fuck him and fuck that and fuck that bitch. And then the music comes back on, and you know, I'm just like, live and let live, and you know, don't need any trouble. And I don't know if they're singing or what, but it's like they're saying kill him. So I put my window down again, and I said, "Excuse me, are you talking about me?" And it was like, kill that bitch. And you know, I'm still not reacting, but then this guy like goes down on the ground and comes up with something. I thought it was a shotgun, and he goes, "You're dead, bitch," and he opens his door. And I'm shitting bricks, but that's when I reached in my glove box, unholstered my pistol. Quicker than a flash, I had a round chambered in it, and I shot.
Okay. Do you remember how many times you shot?
4.
Okay. Okay, just keep walking me through kind of
All
what you
right,
remember.
well, I shot 4 times, and that SUV pulled out, and like I said, in my mind, they got a gun. And so, you know, not training, just from, I was still scared. And so I shot 4 more times as they were fleeing.
As they were fleeing?
Yeah, trying to keep their heads down to not catch any return fire.
When you began to shoot, can you honestly tell us that you ever saw a gun inside that vehicle?
I saw a barrel come up on the window, like a single shot shotgun where there's a barrel. I didn't see this part of the barrel. I saw that part of the barrel, and it was either a barrel or a stick. But sir, they're like, "We're gonna kill you," and then they say, "You're dead, bitch." I mean, I didn't wait to look to see if they were going to point it at me. He reached down and picked it up. And
You
then
say he, who reached down and picked it up?
well, hopefully it's the guy that I hit. Though it was.
Where was he sitting when he reached
He
down
was
and
sitting
picked
in
it up?
the rear passenger side,
Okay.
and that's the guy that was really agitated. And then that's the guy that I asked, are you talking about you're going to kill me?
the last set of rounds when the truck is backing away from you, and you put 4 more sets in it, 4 more shots into it. That's an issue. Because now if it's backing away, it's no longer a threat.
Yes, sir, I understand that. In my mind, they had a weapon.
Okay. I can't shoot someone because in my mind they had a weapon.
Dunn gibt also an, von den Jungs im Auto, speziell dem einen auf dem hinteren Beifahrerrücksitz, bedroht worden zu sein. Sie hätten gedroht, ihn umzubringen. Darum will er sein Recht auf Selbstverteidigung geltend machen und so die Schüsse, die er abgefeuert hat, rechtfertigen. Wie vom Polizisten aber bereits angedeutet, gibt es hier ein paar Probleme. Dunn sagt aus, er habe gesehen, wie der Junge, es war Jordan Davis, etwas hochgehoben hat und er ist sich recht sicher, dass es eine Waffe war. Zuerst spricht er von einer Shotgun oder einem Gewehrlauf oder einem Knüppel. Bei der Befragung vor Gericht durch seinen Verteidiger klingt das so.
He reached forward and picked something up and slammed it against the door.
Okay, when you said he reached forward, did he reach into
I'm
that
sorry,
front
he
house?
reached down.
Okay. Down towards his feet?
Down towards, I could see his shoulders move. I couldn't see his hands. But you can imagine if somebody's shoulders move forward that they're reaching down.
All right, could you see him actually lean down towards the floor of that car?
Yes, I
truck?
did.
And at that point, did you reach for your firearm?
Absolutely not.
Did you try to flee or get out of the car or think anything was going to escalate in terms of physical violence?
No.
Tell the jury, after you see that person in the back seat reach down to the floor, do they come back up? Do they sit
Yes,
back up?
yeah, he not only came back up, but he slammed whatever it was against the door.
Okay. Could you see something against that door?
Yeah, I saw sticking above, like the windowsill, about 4 inches of a barrel.
And you said it looked like a barrel of a gun or a shotgun?
It was a thick enough profile. It was, to my eye, a 12 gauge, maybe 20.
Okay.
Im roten SUV wurde keine Waffe gefunden. Auch nichts, was zu Dunns Beschreibung passen würde. Die Polizei hat außerdem die Umgebung um die Tankstelle abgesucht, da der rote Durango den Platz nach den Schüssen für kurze Zeit verlassen hatte. Sie haben nichts gefunden. Interessant ist in diesem Zusammenhang auch Rhondas Aussage vor Gericht.
And then Ms. Rouer, also on November 23rd, 2012, after the shooting, when you came out of the gate gas station and you got into the defendant's car,
Yes.
did the defendant ever tell you he saw a gun in that red SUV?
No.
Did the defendant ever tell you that he saw a weapon of any kind in that SUV?
No.
There was no mention of a stick.
No.
There was no mention of a shotgun.
No.
There was no mention of a barrel.
No.
There was no mention of a lead pipe.
No.
Back in the hotel room, Ms. Rouer, that same night, did the defendant ever tell you that he saw the boys with a firearm?
No.
Did he ever tell you that he saw the boys with a weapon?
No.
On the 2-hour drive back to Brevard the following morning, did the defendant ever tell you that he saw a gun in the SUV?
No.
And on that 2-hour drive, did he ever tell you he saw a weapon of any kind in that SUV?
No.
Gibt es wirklich keine Waffe im roten SUV, steht Dunns Verteidigungspunkt auf sehr schwachen Füßen. Und vieles spricht dagegen, dass es diese Waffe gegeben hat. Dunn gibt an, Jordan Davis habe die Waffe genommen und dann die Tür geöffnet, habe also begonnen, sich ihm zu nähern. Gegen diese Aussage sprechen mehrere Indizien.
So, you see him start to come out of the door of the truck. At that point, you turn to get your gun. Is that correct? You take it out of your glove box. You unholster it. You rack around, and you come back up on target.
Yes, sir. Fluid motion.
Okay. In the amount of time, he's starting to get out of the truck when you first start to go get your... But yet, by the time you come back and start shooting, he's still in the truck.
He's coming out. I think he saw what I was doing when it was running back in. I don't know. But
see, that's where I'm a little thrown off here. Okay. Because he is sitting in the back seat of that truck when he is hit. Okay? Because the bullet goes right through the door. 3 bullets went through that door. Okay? He wasn't hit standing outside the truck.
Oh no, I know I shot through the door.
Okay, so
driving him back.
How's he getting out of the door if you're shooting through it? You're confusing us. And we've interviewed several people. This is the very first time that anyone has told us about anyone getting out of a truck.
Die Winkel der Einschusslöcher in der Autotür und die Verletzungen von Jordan Davis deuten darauf hin, dass Jordan im Auto saß, als die ersten Schüsse fielen. Kein Zeuge hat gesehen, wie jemand aus dem roten SUV aussteigt. Laut den erfahrenen Polizisten ist es so, dass Gangster oder Jungs, die wirklich schießen würden, die Deckung des Autos nicht verlassen würden. Und warum sollte Jordan Davis aussteigen? Er hatte keine Waffe und Michael Dunn ist um einiges größer und schwerer als er. Sicher war Dunn nach den Schüssen voller Adrenalin und auch etwas erschrocken. Er sagt, er hätte Todesangst gehabt und befürchtete, ein weiteres Auto mit Thugs, also Schlägern, würde sie aufspüren und ihnen etwas antun. Trotzdem parkt er das Auto vor dem Hotel an der Straße, geht mit Charlie kurz Gassi, sitzt ein paar Minuten mit Rhonda in der Lobby und bestellt eine Pizza, die er in der Lobby abholt. Michael Dunn sagt aus, er habe neben dem roten SUV geparkt. Rhonda steigt aus und dann erst startete die Musik. Bei Rhonda klingt das anders.
So you guys pull in, okay? Now, when he pulls in next to the red SUV, is that correct?
That's correct.
It was already there,
yes.
Correct, okay. And was the music playing?
Yes.
Okay, the music's playing. I'm assuming it's the bass music playing. And does Mike make comment about the fact about the music playing? What did he say?
He said, "Ugh, I hate that thug music."
Okay, and that's he's expressed that concern in the past.
Yes.
It annoys him to hear that
Yes.
music.
And then I said, "Yes, I know."
Auch ein Zeuge berichtet vor Gericht anderes.
Tell these jurors why you didn't pull into that empty spot next to the sidewalk.
I heard the loud music. Didn't want to deal with it.
Did you know from what source that loud music was coming?
It was coming from the red Durango.
Were there other parking spots available for you to pull into?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do?
I pulled into the other parking spot.
Did you have any trouble finding another parking spot?
No, ma'am.
Were there even other parking spots that were vacant that you could have chosen to park in?
Yes, ma'am.
Es stellt sich nun die Frage, wenn Michael Dunn diese Musik so nicht ausstehen kann, warum parkt er genau daneben? Wären die 4 Jungs im Auto tatsächlich Thugs, also Schläger gewesen, wie von Michael Dunn behauptet, hätte seine Geschichte wohl tatsächlich genau so passieren können. Nur, die Jungs waren einfach keine Schläger.
We talked to the other guys in the car, and they will all admit, they will all tell us. That was his name. He said, "Yep, didn't like the fact he told him to turn the music down. He wasn't happy about that. He didn't like the fact that some stranger is telling him to turn his music down. He's 17. He's a teenager. Okay, you know what teenagers are. They're a little hard-headed sometimes. And did he throw some F-bombs at you? Basically tell you to go fuck yourself multiple times? Absolutely. They said, yep, he was jaw-jacking back and forth with that guy. But at no time did any of them say, well, okay, he did say he was going to kill him. Because it makes no sense, because what's he going to do? He's not armed. What's he going to, I'm going to kill you and get out of a car. And we're talking about a kid. You know how many times that kid's been to jail? Never. We're not talking about a violent kid here. He has no track record. There are guys in Jacksonville who I'd go, okay, I believe that, because they got track records. This kid ain't got no track record. The kid sitting next to him doesn't have a track record. The kid sitting in front of him doesn't have a track record. None of them do. The driver's got a little bit. Stole a car when he was younger. That's it. These aren't violent guys. They pull up so the driver can run in and buy cigarettes. It's the only reason they're even there. They just got back from going to the mall. That's it. So I have a hard time buying how I can totally see him talking shit to you. I can see that. But to take it to a level that he's threatening to end your life when he can't. There's no way he can. He doesn't have anything.
I didn't know that.
I know.
That's all the reason that you not knowing that is all the reason why you took your next step too far.
Yeah, the problem is you went from 0 to 100 without ever getting to 50.
I have a guy very irate saying he wants me dead. Well, if the other guys aren't corroborating, I'm sorry, but that's
and understand too, there's people in the parking lot that can hear what's going on too.
Diese Indizien und Fakten sprechen gegen Dunns Geschichte der Notwehr. Michael Dunn wurde angeklagt des Mordes ersten Grades und des dreifachen versuchten Mordes. Am 15. Februar 2014 fand die Jury ihn schuldig der versuchten Morde, konnte sich zur Mordanklage aber nicht einigen. Der Prozess wurde wiederholt und am 1. Oktober 2014 wurde er schuldig gesprochen. Das Strafmaß beträgt lebenslänglich ohne Bewährung plus weitere 90 Jahre. Die Berufung wurde im November 2016 abgelehnt. Ab dem Zeitpunkt seiner Verhaftung schrieb Michael Dunn Briefe an Rhonda, seine Tochter, Geschwister oder die Großmutter. Sie zeigen, was ihn bewegt und auch wie er denkt. Einige Beispiele. Nach gewonnenem Prozess will er den Staat Florida verklagen und von dem gewonnenen Geld ein Haus kaufen. Er nennt den Richter nicht sehr helle, nennt sich selbst Opfer umgekehrter Diskriminierung oder politischer Gefangener. Und obwohl er behauptet, das Wort Thug nicht zu verwenden, taucht es immer wieder in seinen Briefen auf. Einem vermutlich suizidgefährdeten neuen Insassen will er einen Weg zu sterben vorschlagen. Er solle ein Auto voller Thugs fragen, ob sie das Radio leiser stellen können. Er schreibt: Das klingt vielleicht radikal, aber wenn Sie mehr Leute bewaffnen würden und diese Idioten töten würden, wenn Sie sie bedrohen, würden Sie es irgendwann verstehen und Ihr Verhalten ändern. Auch Michael Dunns ehemaliger Nachbar hat wenig Schmeichelhaftes zu berichten.
So I lived next door to him for 8 years. Okay. He had a really arrogant attitude about him, like he was smarter than everybody else. He knew about computers, but he didn't appear to know a lot about interpersonal relationships and how to get along with people. Most of what I know about Michael Dunn comes from his wives. As I said, he was married to a foreign national, Sarah. She was from Mexico. The next wife he had was another foreign national from Colombia, and her name was Clara. And at different times through these relationships with these women, they had come to my house crying, claiming that they were scared to death of this individual, that he had put a gun to their head, that he had threatened to take their children away from them. They both had children. And he had threatened to have them deported if they didn't do exactly as he said, and that he would keep the kids.
I mean, did you see signs of physical abuse, or was it just psychological torment?
Well, I had seen swollen lips and a bruised face on Clara, on Sarah. I'm sorry. One of the incidents that she relayed to both my wife and myself was that he had forced her to go to a sex club in Fort Lauderdale and participate in some activities of this club that she really didn't want to do. But again, it was one of those things where she was so afraid of this guy, she was going to do whatever she did to protect her son.
Erwähnt außerdem Drogengebrauch, Versicherungsbetrug, Betrug an Kunden und an seinen, Dunns Eltern und Besuche von Prostituierten.
Did I ever hear him say that he wanted to shoot somebody? Not directly, but there were several times where he made comments that, I can't wait for somebody to try something with me when I have my gun. I'm the type of person, that's the last thing I want to be contemplating. I don't want to have a confrontation with somebody while I have a gun. Anybody that does, they're predisposed, in my opinion, to kill somebody. If you're looking for a confrontation just because you have a gun, there's no question in my mind that people that are looking for problems when they have a gun, someday are going to find it. And when I heard about this incident with Michael Dunn, I said, there you go. I knew it. Sooner or later, he's going to kill somebody.
Nachdem ihr Sohn Jordan gestorben war, setzte sich Lucy McBath sehr für mehr Waffenkontrolle ein. Seit 2019 ist sie für den 6. Wahlbezirk von Georgia im Repräsentantenhaus der Vereinigten Staaten für die Demokratische Partei tätig. Und obwohl die Geschichte so schon schlimm genug ist, hätte alles noch verheerender ausgehen können.
We are so lucky. Really, there should be 3 of those 4 should have been hit. 3 of those 4. You could have 3 dead guys right now. Okay. Luckily for the guy in the front seat, his door stopped the bullets. They entered the door but didn't go all the way in because the front door's got bullet holes in it. Okay. And there's another one you shot when you were doing the suppression fire, basically, to keep their heads down as they're driving away. You put one in the back of the car. There's several shots directly into the rear of the truck. And one of them comes zinging in through the back and goes right up and hits the sun visor where the driver is as he's driving out. Didn't miss his noggin by much.
When you stood in that spot, had a car pulled in to the empty spot that's designated by the X.
Yes, ma'am.
Describe that car for this jury.
It was a Volkswagen, a dark color Volkswagen.
Okay. Did you see anyone inside that car?
There was a gentleman sitting in the driver's seat.
All right. Did you notice whether or not the red Dodge Durango was still in its original spot?
It was still there, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you hear the music still coming from that Durango at that point?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Okay. Did you hear anyone in the red Dodge Durango say anything to anyone?
No, ma'am.
What were you about to do?
I was about to make a turn and walk towards my truck door.
And what stopped you?
I heard someone yell, or someone say something very loud.
And what did you hear that person say?
No, you're not going to talk to me that way.
All right. Can you use your voice to try to convey to the jury the volume of that person's voice?
You're not going to talk to me that way.
Was it a male voice or a female voice?
Male.
And could you tell where that voice was coming from?
The direction it was coming from was the parked Jetta.
So being in a room by myself kind of sucks, but I guess it'd be better than being in a room with them animals.
Well, you know, they probably wouldn't think too highly about what's going on, and so it is best, but I can only imagine. But your mom said she was sending you a book.
Yep.
And I don't know how she's going about this.
I was thinking about this today, and I was like, I'm the victim here, I'm the fucking victim here. I was the one that was being preyed upon, and I fought back.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, so it's my fault because I asked them to turn their radio down.
Right.
It's like I got attacked, and I fought back because I didn't want to be a victim, and now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I refuse to be a victim, and now I'm incarcerated.
Oh, no.
I somehow insulted these boys by asking them to turn the radio down, and for that, they were going to kill me. I mean, it's absurd that they would do that, but, you know, they're violent.
Well, honey, I don't think we should talk about it anymore.
I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, they attacked me. I'm the victim. I'm the victor, but I was the victim, too.